eSIM Studios YouTube and mobile app. The eSIM Studios YouTube channel offers the very best technology news and reviews with in-depth coverage found nowhere else. Hosted by founder and creator, Taylor Bell. He's a really good dude, college educated, and worked inside the industry. He knows what he is talking about. The eSIM Studios mobile app is an experience unlike any other tech app, with an easy-to-use interface view, late-breaking tech news from all over the industry, and so much more. eSIMstudios.app also includes the unlocker. Learn to unlock phones from the professionals for free. The clean and intuitive layout, finding breaking news articles and deals in tech has never been easier. Watch and listen to the eSIM Studios YouTube channel and podcast from within the app. Additional features include easy Gcam download and installation, the Android Flash tool, and sign up for our weekly giveaway drawing. Download the eSIM Studios mobile app at eSIMstudios.app and find us on YouTube by simply searching eSIM Studios.
Your little Mac M3 CPU is sweet. It can't beat my Snapdragon X Elite. iPhone stuck on same design for years. Nothing but the OnePlus Pixel have you crying tears. You got that iPhone 15, I got that phone to nothing. Think you're cool with iOS 18. Android had those features back in 2018. Your little Mac M3 CPU is sweet. It can't beat my Snapdragon X Elite. iPhone stuck on same design for years. Nothing but the OnePlus Pixel have you crying tears. M3 CPU is sweet. It can't beat my Snapdragon X Elite. iPhone stuck on same design for years. Nothing but the OnePlus Pixel have you crying tears. You got that iPhone 15, I got that phone to nothing. Think you're cool with iOS 18. Android had those features back in 2018. Your little Mac M3 CPU is sweet. It can't beat my Snapdragon X Elite. iPhone stuck on same design for years. Nothing but the OnePlus Pixel have you crying tears. M3 CPU is sweet. It can't beat my Snapdragon X Elite. iPhone stuck on same design for years. Nothing but the OnePlus Pixel have you crying tears. You got that iPhone 15, I got that phone to nothing.
if I get. I'm on my way to a brand new kit.
Welcome back, eSIM Studios podcast, live stream, episode number 156. Rolling right along here. Thank you for joining us on this Sunday afternoon. Started a little later than I wanted to. Got a lot. I know I say this quite often. I got a lot going on. Always have time for technology, though, even though if I'm a few minutes late, right? So if you're an NFL fan, football fan, some college football, mostly NFL, I encourage you to go subscribe to my Chiefs Studios YouTube channel. It's good. We have a YouTube channel. We also have a podcast, Chiefs Studios Podcast, similar to this. Getting everything, laying all the groundwork down, getting scheduling up and running, and connecting with my co-host Fred Davis, but also connecting with guests that we're gonna have, booking them, and all that good stuff. So, been making intros. As you see, I made all my intros. I don't hire anybody. Everything you see on this channel, everything you see on the Chief Studios channel is all me. So I don't hire anybody or do any I do everything myself. And that's on purpose because I'm really picky. And plus, if I can do something, why pay somebody, right? So, yeah, it is what it is. But we're going to get that up and running this week. So I'm going to start recording this week, Chiefs Studios. I think the link is in every description box of every video that I upload, at least on this channel. Or just simply search Chiefs Studios. It's easy to remember, right? eSIM Studios, Tech, Chiefs Studios, Football. And we don't just talk Chiefs. I'm not a bandwagon fan. I've been a Chiefs fan since a little kid. All my family's from Kansas, so we go way back. But I love NFL, so we talk NFL, right? And just a little extra focus on the Chiefs. But if you love football, we encourage everybody to join. I don't want to exclude any other fans from any other teams. So we're gonna start recording this week, and it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be really, really cool. Got a lot of stuff. We actually interviewed Patrick Mahomes, senior, last season, and we're in the process of scheduling him again. So there you go, among some other NFL players. So okay, so I've been kind of putting off this. How could I forget? Speaking of podcasts, damn it, you can, if you catch us halfway through, you want to check out the whole episode, you can always hit the replay. Or if you want to take us on a go, right? You're around town running some errands, like I was earlier, taking some pictures with this new sucker. Damn, did it not focus? There we go. I was taking pictures with the Flip 6. But if you're running errands or you're simply doing chores around the house, you can download the audio podcast. So wherever you get your podcast, Apple podcasts. Is this catching this in the auto zoom? This auto zoom's a little too aggressive, no? It's like, I wish it would just stay still. You can catch us. You like that shirt? Those will be available too. The shirts will be available too on Chief Studios. So I make my own shirts. So eSIM Studios, wherever you get your podcast, search eSIM Studios. Tech news. I will post that giveaway today for the Buds Pro 2. I promise. I've been very busy. I promise. And then eSIM Studio Store. So I have a potential buyer, not sold yet, for this one, but close. I've been communicating with him. He's interested. This is for sale on eSIMstudios.store, or actually posted it on OfferUp if you feel more comfortable. And I get it, right? No hard feelings. If you're kind of iffy, I don't know. It is. I just started the website, last week, but I develop websites, so that's what I do. So it's not some janky website. It's me. I own it. I ran everything, built it from the ground up. If you feel more comfortable purchasing through a reputable application where you buy and sell stuff, go on OfferUp. You know what? I'll link this. This is on OfferUp. I will link it in the video description let's do this. You know what? Do it right now. And you can see the OfferUp listing for it, right? Now, I don't particularly like OfferUp. In fact, I'm in the very, very, very early stages of developing an OfferUp competitor. It's gone downhill, but you can still buy and sell on there. But anyways, let me link this here for everybody. If you're interested, you can certainly purchase it on OfferUp, right? Copy link address. Let me go to YouTube Studio, and we'll get into. We have a topic, right? We have a topic where this is a Pixel topic I've been wanting to get to for a long time. And we've kind of been putting it off because we've had other big news, we've had releases, but there's a topic I want to get into that's very important. And as we get closer, as you know, the Pixel launch for the new Pixel 9 series is August 13th, which is my birthday. But we've been so busy, and as we get closer to that launch date, we'll have more and more Pixel topics, right? It's kind of like Samsung when they get released. We'll talk a little bit more about Samsung. When the iPhones come around in September, guess what? We're going to be talking a little bit more about iPhones. I'm going to actually attempt to buy an iPhone from Apple. I think it's for the first time ever. We'll see how that goes, because I think I'm still banned from them, but we'll see. Yeah, maybe I'll record it and see how that goes. Anyways, OnePlus 12R for sale. Doing it on the fly. I appreciate everybody joining. We'll get to it in a second. Let me just finish this. So, save. So if you want to see this 12R on OfferUp, I just updated the information in the in the description box below. If you don't see it, it should show up in a minute, or when this is done, come back to the live stream and go down in the description box. Every phone that I have listed for sale, I'll start putting in the description boxes and stuff. All right, so how many of y'all, what's going on, guys? I knew you'd like it. A word just for you. I thought, damn, he's gonna think I'm crazy because I had a Cowboy shirt on yesterday and I didn't even think about it until I hit live. I was like, crap. And I was like, you know what? Let me come back with the Mahomes jersey, t-shirt today. It's all good. What's going on, man? Appreciate y'all. Yeah, honestly, that's what I did. I saw this in the closet and I was like, let me throw this on today. You'll see as I'm gonna, recording, right? So that's what I was doing today, scheduling. So my co-host, right, or my partner, I don't know, whatever. The YouTube channel is in my name. It's in my Gmail address. But my friend who actually works in sports radio, he actually old school FM dial, or I guess it's AM. No, he's on FM in Dallas. He's a sports talk show host. That's what he does. He's gotten the okay and just negotiated his contract with the station to do. He was on last year and he's going to be on this year again. We just scheduling the recording. So I think getting to the point of in the future here, starting next few weeks, I might do this live stream with a Chiefs shirt on, because I'm probably going to either record right before y'all see me or right after y'all see me. And I'm going to do the same thing on the Chiefs channel. I'm going to live stream there. We're going to go over not just Kansas City stuff, but we're going to go over all NFL stuff, even the Raiders. Go over the news. We'll touch on hot topics, stuff like that. And we'll have guests on. My partner, Fred, who's in sports radio, has great contacts. That's how we got Patrick Mahomes Sr. on. That's how we had a bunch of players on last season. So he's been great we're like one of the few NFL fan-based channels that actually have interviews, that actually have real players on. A lot of times it's just people, regular fan pages. But that's why I brought him in to add, some. Plus, he's going to bring hopefully some corporate sponsors in sponsorship this year. So, anyways, if you're a football fan, go subscribe over there. We'll talk football over there. But today, technology, right? Okay, so let me grab some water. I know y'all have had a Pixel. How many of y'all, whether it's last year, whether it's 5 years ago, has your Pixel ever overheated? Oh, and by the way, I drove around with this in the dash, on the dashboard. What's going on, Daniel? I drove around with this on the dashboard yesterday afternoon, and it was early afternoon. Now, this did get hot. However, that's normal. Now, why do I say that's normal? Because where my car mount is, it's on the dash, upper dash. It's right in direct sunlight. And obviously this is a black phone, so it attracts the heat, right? If it was white, you know what? I've had this, and I just thought of this. These two phones, that's why it might pay off to get a white phone if you do have a car mount that's up on the dash. Because I've had these up there. And I don't really remember. Look. Will the temperature raise? Yes, obviously. But it's not the first. When you grab it, when you're getting out of your car, when you grab the phone off the dash, the first thing you think is not, damn, this is hot. Because all my other phones, I go and grab them, I'm like, damn, it's kind of hot. But again, that's normal. Now, I walked around outside. Tomorrow, when I have to run a couple errands, I'm not going to put it on the dash. I'm going to put it on the seat next to me. Out of the sun. We'll have the GPS on. We'll have probably music streaming. But since it's been on the dash, I have not had it heat up. Now, I just added my Google Fi eSIM this morning. So now that I have cellular data going as well, look, I've had phones in the past where you get a bad signal or you're in a bad spot and your phone continually searching for a good signal. You wear your battery down and heat up your phone too. So nothing out of the ordinary. Again, it got hot because it was on the dash in direct sunlight, and it's, what is it today? 90. Oh, it's raining today, so it's 90. It's only 92, but yesterday it was like 98. So it got hot, but that's normal. All my other phones get hot, but in the house, in the studio, in the pocket, not gotten hot. So that kind of leads us into our first, what I was going to talk about. And again, I kind of had put this off because I had a bunch of other news going on, but have y'all ever had a Pixel that overheated? Early 90s? I don't know. They were all right. I think they got better late 90s. Holy crap. 110, 115. Whew. The hottest weather I've ever been in. One day. Okay, so it got 113 here in San Antonio, Texas, 3 years ago and 20 years ago. And I remember those days like it was yesterday. Now, there was 2 years ago, it got 115 or 16 here. I think it was one of the hottest days ever on record. That's hot. And it's a humid hot here. Because I was in the Mojave Desert driving from Bakersfield. Was it Bakersfield to LA? Do you cross the Mojave from Bakersfield to LA? I can't remember. Maybe it was Las Vegas to LA. Anyways, I had my dad and my uncle and I crossed the Mojave Desert in a car that, ironically enough, the AC went out in the middle of the ride. And that was hot. But that's dry hot, right? Down here, it's humid. 111? Oof. Yikes. Man. Hot. That's not good, right? On the phones. Well, for you too, but that's not good on the phones, right? So I made a video, and that's the thing with Pixel, right? So every year, they've basically been launched right around Halloween. That's like Halloween for whatever reason. I think because the Pixel 5, one of my favorite phones, I think it was released like the day before Halloween, right? And that's always kind of just whenever I hear Halloween, I always subconsciously think, oh, it's Pixel time, right? Now, Pixel users, why does that launch date matter? That matters because you're kind of out of the summer months, right? So right around Halloween, you're rolling into fall, temperatures outside 80s, at most lower 90s, right? And then it doesn't get close to 100 or over 100, depending on where you're at in the country. But for me, and here in Texas, it doesn't ever get hot until like May, June, and then July starts really, really hot. August is the scorching month. So if you got a Pixel under normal conditions when it launched around Halloween, you go a good 6 to 8 months of not even getting close to 100 degree weather. So when my Pixel 7 Pro overheated for the first time, I had already been using it for like 10 months. And I was shocked. I could not believe it, because it's been in 100 degree weather before that. It wasn't like the very first day it was 100 degrees outside. But I say that because you don't really know if you're gonna have a device that's gonna overheat or not until 10 months into using it. Now, with the Pixel 9 series getting launched earlier, August 13th, right in the dead center of the heat. And that's what we're going to try to do. We're going to try to get ours to overheat, because I have a long-standing issue. As y'all know, I love Pixel, and we are hashtag Team Pixel here, but there's one issue. Remember I said last week there's no perfect phone? Well, this one issue has been bugging the hell out of me. It's the overheating issue. I thought I was so lucky to never get a overheating Pixel, because I've had them for years and always heard about seeing Reddit threads, seeing stuff online, people commenting that their Pixel is overheated. And I was, dodged a bullet, dodged another bullet. And then now my 8 Pro has not overheated. 7 Pro did. But if you go online, if you Google Pixel whatever overheating or overheated, that's their number one issue, right? They know this, and I don't know why they haven't fixed it, because this has been an issue for probably, I think, since the Pixel 2 or 3. That's when I first started hearing about them. I think it was the 2, actually. But do you remember Google put out a press release maybe 2 or 3 months ago, and we talked about it, where it says, it was kind of misleading, because when I read the headline, I was like, oh wow, that is so badass. And a couple hours later, when I read the article, I was bummed out and felt slighted, because the headline was Google, basically Google doing something about overheating issue. And I was like, oh yes, finally. A couple hours later, read the article, and all they're doing is just putting a little more intuitive warning system for when your device gets a little too hot. Just putting in another extra, because when it does overheat, that's it. It'll shut down and your camera app will stop working, and then the phone will shut down eventually if it gets too hot. Now they put little warning safeguards in there, so if the internal temperature gets, I think, 100, somewhere around there, it'll put a warning up on your screen. Hey, device is getting hot. Essentially, you need to cool it down, whatever. And then I think at another 105, I think it'll give you another warning. Hey, device is getting hot. You need to cool it down before it actually starts shutting apps down and or closing apps that it believes is causing the heat issue, minus the exterior heat, right? So your camera is notorious for overheating devices if you have it on, right? The processor's ramped up. Games, if you play high graphic intensive games, that'll generally heat up the device. But they didn't do anything internally. They didn't put vapor chambers, or there wasn't an announcement of that. That's what I was hoping. I was hoping they would put some sort of heat dissipation technology, whatever it is, even if it's not a vapor chamber technically, do something. The way OnePlus, and I think we might get lucky this year. So OnePlus, as you know, I think with, where is it? This OnePlus 12, the jerry rig everything, tear down of this, he said, and he tears down everything, he said, has the biggest vapor chamber he's ever seen in a mobile device. And, since I've had this, you know what? I don't even think this has gotten hot on my dash. I cannot remember a time grabbing it and thinking, damn, this thing's hot, like all my other devices. Well, I might throw this on the dash put this on the dash to see if I can get it hot, and I'll probably put this one on the seat next to me out of the sun to see if I can get hot. So kill two birds with one stone there. But I'm going to attempt to do that. But look, I was surprised when Samsung said they were putting a vapor chamber in this Flip 6. It's so small, it's so thin, but that just proves to you it can be done. If they can put something, and look, and this thing's cut in half. So this is two separate components held together by a hinge, right? So they actually had to separate the battery. Got a little battery here, and run them in, I guess, parallel, whatever, or series. I think it's parallel, whatever. So they put a vapor chamber inside here. Thank the Lord. So even if it does get a little warm, it'll cool down real quick, right? I need to see Google do something about this issue. They absolutely have to. I don't think they can waste too much more time not addressing this issue. And I'm not talking about a warning system, because let's say you're out at the theme park, right? And your phone, and with Google's new warning system, I think with Android 15, is going to implement this on all Pixel devices. So it'll warn you, and you're like, yeah, I know it's hot, and then it warns you again, and you're like, yeah, I know it's hot. Like, what do you want me to do? You're out of the house, right? You're out of the car. It's not like you can hold it up to your AC vent. There's certain scenarios where that, the warning system does nothing, right? I want my phone to get cooled down. I don't want you to warn me. I know it's hot. I'm touching it. I need them to put some sort of heat dissipation. Whether, again, it doesn't have to be a vapor chamber per se, but they got to do something. This is out of control. So real quick, before I get off of this page, let me show you something. I don't know why I showed it twice, but these two, this phone right here, that's this one for sale. Okay, so if y'all want that, the link is in the description box of this video, or you can go to esimstudios.store, Buy it from either one. I don't care. I'll ship it to you either way. Now, there was a report that came out about Pixels overheating. And it's shocking. Let me show you this. I think it was a survey that was taken. Here it is. Okay, so who is this? Android Authority. This is about a week ago. Yeah, about 10 days ago. Anyways, Android Authority did a poll, right, on their website and basically said, has your Pixel overheated? And the results were, I was thinking maybe half the people would say yes, but I believe it was way higher than that. Let's see. Holy crap. 75, damn near 75, 3 out of 4 people that have a Pixel said yes, this thing gets hot as hell. Now, I did troll Apple for their overheating issues of the iPhone 15 Pro Max. So I'm just keeping everything fair here, right? So I'm now officially calling out Google. And again, I do know that there's a couple Google employees that that do subscribe to the but I'm not taking shots at them unfairly. I mean, I have had a device that's overheated. 3 out of 4 people polled said it's theirs have overheated. So we need this issue addressed, right? Like this can't be happening. And especially look, you know they're gonna catch, and I say they, but I mean Google. They're gonna catch hell. You're gonna hear a lot of online chatter, typically from people that don't really know what they're talking about, but about this year's CPU. So when this gets released, there's gonna be a lot of people talking crap. Oh, the CPU sucks, or this and that. And I mean, look, technically it doesn't suck, right? It's just not as good as it could be. But again, that's why I'm putting all my chips on the table for the Pixel 10. Pixel 10, their own CPU. We've been over it 1,000 times. TSMC built on next year's Pixel. But I'm not writing this one off by any means. We're still getting one, and we're still going to enjoy it, right? I just need them to address this issue. Now, if the launch date is August 13th, I sure hope they did something about it, because it's not like they're gonna listen to this show and be like, you know what, he's right, let's go back to the drawing board and write in a vapor chamber in there. If it's not already designed in there, or something is not already designed in there, then it's not going to be in there. These are getting made at the manufacturers. These have been sent to the printing press, so to speak. These are getting manufactured, these phones, so it's too late to add something in there. Remember, these are designed years in advance. But I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that they implemented some sort of heat dissipation tactic for this Pixel 9. And at very least, if they're listening to me now and they did not put one in this year for the Pixel 9, you absolutely have to do it for the Pixel 10. The Pixel 10 internally for Google is their coming out party. And I don't mean it that way, but you know what I mean. It's like, here's what we got. Like, Google is also putting in all their chips in the center of the table, betting on the Pixel 10. So you can't throw all your chips in the table. You can't be all in, and you can't say, this is our greatest phone ever. Look at what we designed. Now, I'm talking hardware and software, right? Google's stepping into a very rare arena. I mean, you could say with Apple, even though the sales don't show it, but just in terms of what you produce, right? You're producing the phone from the ground up yourself. Now, I know some parts suppliers from, there'll be a Sony sensor or something like that, but you know what I mean. How embarrassing would that be? Now, if it overheats this year, at least they have one last, what do you say? At least you have one last excuse, right? You say, well, I'm sure they're not going to say it, but people are going to be like, well, technically it is a Samsung processor, Exynos processor. They've had issues with overheating. At least you can lean on that if they do have if this issue continues to roll over into this 9 series. Next year, Pixel 10, no excuses. But I'm not letting them off the hook this year. If their devices overheat, and we will tell pretty soon right after launch. I mean, I think the 2-week forecast has it up by around 100 degrees whenever these get launched. 74% said their devices overheat. Now, does it say how many people voted? Over 1,800 people. That's a fair. It's a pretty decent size voting, right? Yeah, they can be, right? So I know AliExpress. I know. Well, that's another concern, right? If the device overheats and continually look, if it overheats, like there's that I did a video about a year ago, or maybe about 2 years ago on here. That's what I did. I took it outside with the intentions of trying to get it to overheat to see how long it would take. Little did I know it'd be like 2 minutes. It was 104, 105 outside that day. It overheated quick and shut down. And I think the temperature gauge I had inside, there's an app, temperature app, that'll tell you the temps inside the phone. When it eventually turned on, I think it was at 119 or something like that internally. Now, having it happen once, maybe twice, like what I tested outside, that in the video I explained, I mean, it shouldn't really hurt anything, but where it starts to go bad and where you really start to damage your device is prolonged exposure, right? How many times is it overheated? One time like me, you should be fine. Now, is it 10 times? 12, 20, 30 times? Yeah, that's a concern. And your battery will start to warp. Remember those old school iPhones? iPhone, what was it, 6S or something like that, where they would warp and the back plate would just kind of slope, or sometimes it'd even pop off. Yeah, that's not good. And that's why they shut down, right? It gets too hot. They have an internal switch, so to speak. I don't know. And when it gets to a certain temperature, it'll give you the warnings. Gets to a certain temperature, shut down the app. The highest performing app, like if you have your camera open and it's taking up, 57% of your CPU, it'll start shutting down at apps and then eventually just turn off completely. Now, if that happens to you, whatever you do not put it in the freezer. Do not put it in the freezer. I have been guilty, not of the freezer. I have been guilty of putting it in the refrigerator, right? Now, for not long, just to get the surface temperature low. I've done it a few times. I left it in there maybe a minute, 2 at the most, just to get the surface temperature down. But absolutely do not put it in the freezer. You'll eventually start to have major issues if you do that. So I don't know if they have a certain, maybe they've patented a certain cooling system. Those third-party fans, you know what? Sometimes you say, oh, that new ROG, how do you say it? ROG, ROG3. They sent me an email. Hang on. I was hoping I get to test one. I've never used one before. They sent me an email introducing this new phone of theirs. And I was going down the specs and I was looking at it. I was like, wow, this is pretty cool. And I was like, wait, it's what? It has an internal fan inside the phone and it's pretty thin. It actually looks almost exactly like my S24 Ultra. It's big, boxy, but it has an internal fan. It has little slits right here where it sucks in air, and then it vents over here where it expels that hot air. It's like, whoa. Is it Asus? Asus ROG? Let's find out. Ah, crap. Sorry. Let's see. Asus ROG. Maybe I'm butchering the name. I'm sure I am. ROG Phone 8 Pro. Okay, so the latest one is the Phone 8, ROG Phone 8. So let me go back and see what they got for me. I think it's on my other. I think it's on my other email address. But I thought that was a very, very clever way to deal with the heat, right? How do you pronounce it? Damn, where did it go? I didn't delete it, did I? Well, I was just looking at the email the other day. Yeah, whatever. ROG, okay. Yeah, well, you know what? We can do this. I'm sorry, I should have had this available before I started, but you can buy little fans, right, for the back of the phone. And put them on essentially the back of your phone, but you're going to be cooling. And will that help? Yeah, I guess so, but you really need something internally where the hot where internally where you can target the heat source to help cool your phone down. Will it help? Sure. I mean, putting an external, you'll see some of those like a MagSafe ring that has a external fan on there that actually will snap on. Like if you have a ring inside your phone case, that wouldn't really help, right? You would need a MagSafe or some kind of magnetic ring on the back of your phone to try to cool down that back plate. It'll help a little bit, right? But you really need something internally. That would be a good test, a good video, actually. They're not that bad priced. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So, believe it was this one. Wait, starts at $9.99. I saw one that was like $7.99, $8.99. Oh, wait, is this it? Cooling. Let's see. Yeah. Well, see, look, that one has an external fan as well. Wow. Well, look, I know Google's not going to. Okay, so it does have a, let's see. What is this? The Aero Active Cooler right up top. So it has an external, essentially, fan that I think Brian was saying that you could essentially put on the back, right? I think that helps suck in the air, bring in air from the outside, I believe. From at least the graphic, the way it was showing on the graphic above this one, it was pulling it through there and then out. Let's see if we can find it. Then there's a graphite sheet. Then there is a rapid cooling conductor right here. So this is the graphite sheet, rapid cooling conductor, dual batteries, right? Just like OnePlus, just like the Flip 6. Vapor chamber. So it will have a vapor chamber in there. I would not expect anything less. You get another graphite sheet. And then I'm assuming it sucks in the air and blows it out someplace. Maybe those are the little vents that I saw advertised. Very, very cool idea. No pun intended. It is pretty clunky, right? It seems like, but look, if you're playing a game, you probably want to go all out. So I get it. If you're a gamer, you probably want the best performing device you can get. And look, every little bit helps. So, yeah, this would definitely help. Gen 3, 16 gigs of RAM, 256 gigs of storage. Very, very cool. I'll have to scour through my emails to see where that email went. Anyways, it is what it is. Let's see. We got a few more minutes. What did my thumbnail say? There was two other topics. I know I'm not going to get to two. Yes. Samsung kills a fan favorite app in OnePlus OnePlus Nord 4 inflated price tag. Oh my God, wow. So I've been on the hunt for a OnePlus Nord 4 and not much is coming up. There's nothing on the OnePlus website. Well, there is. And I can't remember what website it is, but you can go to the Nord 4 listing on a OnePlus website that you can find on Google, but it's not a US OnePlus website. So then when you click to order now or pre-order now, it brings you to a page, it locates your IP address, and then essentially brings you to a dead end saying, well, not available where you're at. So if you're in the US, kind of shit out of luck, right? But I'm sure they will be listed on eBay, on Swappa, and a few other places where you can sell phones, kind of like OfferUp or Mercari. But I found one place that sells them. Now, they're supposed to be on sale for, I don't know, like $450, something like that. Another good performing mid-range phone. Like, it performs very good for a mid-range phone with a mid-range price. However, this one is probably the best performing mid-range phone, right? It's got last year's flagship specs, and it's like $400. So this new OnePlus Nord 4 has got similar specs. It's a very high performing device at a low price. Now, I found this one for, there's more than one for sale. And let me show you. So remember, this retails in other countries for roughly $399, $400 compared to translating it to the US dollar. And let me show you. Let me show you what I found. Look at this. $1,400. $1,300. Wow. Okay. I don't think I'm going to be getting that. Where is that? Overseas Electronics. Holy crap. Is that their website? I don't know about that. I'm sure it's a legit Wait a second. They're based in Chicago? Oh, I thought this was going to be in like Dubai or something. What the hell is going on? Oh, yes. All right, tomorrow, y'all are going to want to see this. Tomorrow, we will review the Xiaomi Mix Flip, their version of the flip phone, and we will compare Samsung's Flip and Xiaomi's Flip. Very, very cool. So tomorrow, we'll definitely hit on that, right? I just simply don't have enough time today. You're not going to want to miss tomorrow. It is a badass phone. Same, similar design to Samsung's, right? But they're very, very clever. They snuck in a few things that I think Samsung should implement in the Flip 7. But we'll get to that tomorrow. But look at this. Wow. $1,400 for that. Now, if you still want one, don't buy it from here. And I'm sorry, overseas electronics, I apologize. But if you wait maybe another, I don't know, 2, 3, 4 weeks, there'll be some on eBay. And then there'll be a lot cheaper than this. And in fact, the phones that I've found that aren't for sale here in the States, that are only sold like in other parts of the world, typically the seller, so whoever has it for sale on eBay, generally, not all the time, but most of the time, they'll list that phone like $100 over the manufacturer's suggested retail price. So if the MSRP for this OnePlus Nord 4 is, let's just say $400, right? Like OnePlus is gonna say this one's $400. The seller that you're gonna buy it from on eBay, he'll typically increase that price by $100. So he gets essentially $100 for selling it to you. Now, how he acquired it, I don't know, probably acquired it from wherever you can buy these, just not here in the U.S. So he'll get $100 off the top. But that's the price you pay if you want a phone that's not sold here in the U.S. Whatever you see the price, convert it to U.S. and then typically add $100, right? So, I'm not sure if y'all are into. I'm probably more interested in this than y'all, but it's all good. And then what else? Oh, Samsung is killing Samsung Messages. I used to love Samsung Messages. I haven't used it, and it just dawned on me. Damn, I haven't used it in a while, right? I used to use that on all my Samsung phones. But just over the years, Google has continually put out look, Messages is not perfect, and there's a few tweaks here and there that I wish they would make. But I liked Samsung Messages because there was actually one or two more options you could do on Samsung Messages that you could not do in Google Messages, right? Now, our RCS, I think was Samsung Messages did offer RCS messaging, but it wasn't as fluid. It just frankly didn't work as much as the Google Messages RCS. Now, there's one other app that I wish Samsung would imply with their future phones, and that's the dialer app. I know, look, personal preference. Technically, they all do the same thing, but I would like to see the stock Pixel and or stock Android dialer app on these Samsung devices, simply because I looked on AliExpress and there was none. I looked here. I looked right before the show started. We can look here in a second. Yeah, I mean, that's really, man, I used to use so many different messaging apps. And it's funny how we kind of just come down to one at this point, right? I mean, you can use Signal, you can use Telegram, all that stuff, but that's messaging through IP, right? So it's kind of like, yeah, you're messaging, but you have to have internet. So you have to have, you have to be connected to a network. Obviously, RCS, Google Messages will send a text message if you're not connected to a network. But man, and you could customize Samsung Messages. You could change the colors, the backgrounds, all sorts of stuff. Yeah, call recording. That's probably the reason why. Look, who knows what goes on behind the scenes? I don't know. But I would like to see the call spam, specifically call monitoring, that the Pixel dialer has, that the Pixel call app has. I wish Samsung would pick up some of those tendencies and implement that into their dialer app and block these spam calls. Really bad now. I don't know how many y'all get per day. We get quite a bit. Now, when I have a SIM card in a non-Pixel device, of course, mine's on silent right now, so y'all can't tell. But actually, you know what? That's a good question. Let me see how many tell you on average how many spam calls I get. Actually, not as much as I thought. I got 1, 2, 3. I have like 3 over the last, what day is it? 3 over the last 4 days. That's not bad. There's times where I would get 3 or 4 a day, spam calls a day. And that's where Pixel, that's why a lot of people love Pixel, simply for that fact that it filters out the spam so good that your phone doesn't even ring. And it can get annoying depending on how many spam calls you get, right? But I just thought it was kind of like an end of an era today when I saw that news, or I guess it was yesterday when Samsung made the announcement that they were, or PR, that press release that they were going to end Samsung Messages, because remember, they used to install it on the phone, and then on a Samsung phone, and then you would have to go into the Google Play Store, download Messages for the current messaging app that we use, and you'd have to disable the Samsung messages, enable the Google messages, right? And then there was a period in time where Samsung did, so I think for a year or two, maybe the S23, well, I know the S23, maybe the S22 would have Google Messages pre-installed. However, you could still go to the Samsung App Store, Galaxy Store, and download Samsung Messages and then use it that way. Now it's not even, it's totally done with. You're stuck. Now you can download another one if you want, but we're just talking about Samsung Messages. They finally gave it the axe. Now I'm sure you could find an APK for it if you love it that much. But Samsung's done supporting it. So yeah, call recording is a whole nother thing that I think that comes down to, it's probably iffy topic, right? It comes down to legality. Some states it's legal, some states it's not. It's probably a touchy subject, but we have hit the 1 hour mark, and it is a Sunday afternoon. So I really appreciate the time. Stick with us tomorrow. We're gonna have a good show tomorrow. I can promise you that. Got a couple of things up my sleeve that we will talk about. And I will post the CMF Buds Pro 2 on the eSIM Studios app at esimstudios.app. And I'll let everybody know when that's posted so everybody can enter. And we will have the drawing this upcoming Friday. So I am going to get out of here, guys. Thank you very much. It was great to see everybody. I hope everybody had a wonderful weekend. And good old Monday coming tomorrow. So take care, be safe, and see you tomorrow. My phone's ringing. Peace.